Muy buenos días, estudiantes. Today I wanted to share with you how to navigate through the course, and especially for Unidad 4, Unit 4. I'm going to scroll down so you can see what my page looks like when items are hidden. So first 9 weeks is hidden because we have to lock it up and let the grades synchronize. Once we arrive to Unidad 4, everything is posted in this order. You'll always see the instrucciones for the unit up at the top. Next, you may see some restrictions, like you can't get into this until this is completed. You'll see the pre-assessment just to give you an idea of what to expect in the unit. And then you'll have the lesson. So all of these things below, you will be able to get to them from going to the lesson. And that's the most important thing to go to. The lesson has, or the unit itself has lessons in it that you're supposed to be able to go through in order. So there's always a setting the stage, which is where you'll find the can-do statements for what we will be able to do by the time we finish this unit. Then when you're ready to move on into the actual unit, you'll see a button down below. Now the button down below called Teaching the Concept, whether it's uno, dos, tres, or cuatro, that's what is the lesson. So when you click on Teaching the Concept uno, you're going to Lección uno, the first lesson in this unit. Once you have read a little bit about what we're doing here, then you're supposed to read more information to help you understand why we're at Lección uno, why we're not just jumping to Lección dos or tres. So when we get to Lección uno, we look at these different descriptions of reading strategies and listening strategies. Because this is an online course, and because it's assumed that students taking Español 3 online took Español 2 online, it's a little bit confusing because in Español 2, we focused a long time on using reading strategies and listening strategies. It's set up differently because it's designed to make it more accessible to students to work at their own pace. So for a student who took an online course last year and reads this and says to himself or herself, I remember doing that, then they're going to move on more easily. For a student who didn't have Español 2 online, they might look at this and think, what is this here for? So that's a little explanation of why it's here, just to give you an overview of what reading strategies and listening strategies are and how we'll use them in our course. So a context clue is one of the strategies. We see a picture of a cigarette and the big red cross out and no fumar. So using that as a context clue, we'll think to ourselves, that must mean there's no smoking. Educated guesses examples. You have an example here where you've got a paragraph in Espanol and then an explanation of how using educated guesses can help one arrive to the interpretation of this paragraph. As you continue to scroll down, you're going to have something else to do, like watching a video clip. You're watching the video clip so that you can have a better understanding of how we use the listening strategies and the reading strategies. Once you watch this clip, then hopefully you're all warmed up and ready to watch this one, where after you watch it, you consider what clues help us figure out our relationship between the speaker and writer and the audience. When you click on this chat, that's what's taking you to the actual assignment where you're going to answer that pregunta. Once you finish that assignment, you should be able to move on to Teaching the Concept 2. Now remember, even though it's called Teaching the Concept 2, it's really Lección 2 or Lesson 2. When you click on this lección, because it was not really part of this week's course material, then you're going to find some of the links that aren't working. If you will be patient, you can get those links to work here once I have time to move into this unit and find some alternatives to the defunct link. In the meantime, some estudiantes have moved forward and gone ahead and looked into the forums and what they need to do in order to complete them. Now, because this isn't on our regularly scheduled pacing guide, next week is the week that I'll focus on these forums and the rubrics I'm using to grade them when I meet with you in Zoom el lunes. All right, so I'm not going to talk about these until Monday. But hopefully you get an idea that this is how we navigate through a lesson. We go through and read the page, and then at the bottom we have our options for where to go next. Sure, there are options over here to the side that my face is covering up a little bit, but this is the way the course was designed, to go through it and to move on into the next lección or concept once you get into the actual content of the lesson. If there are ever any changes or ever any suggestions for you, you'll find them in the announcements. And judging from the emails that I read every day, I'm getting that there are probably a lot of you who are not reading the announcements. So make sure that you do take advantage of this. It's here for your enjoyment. That's probably not a good word. It's here for your use to understand more of how we're going through the course. Bueno, clase, I hope that helped you. I wish you muy buena suerte in your work. Y nos vemos el lunes. We'll see you Monday. Adiós.